Hi, everybody. Welcome back. This is episode 6 of Grief Talks with Noel. I was off last week, but I'm happy to be back with you tonight, and I'm happy that you chose to click on this video and just tune in. I don't have all the answers. I really don't, but all I'm doing is sharing my personal experiences with you and hoping that something that I'm saying is inspirational or something that I'm saying motivates you to, get your emotions moving and to talk about how you're feeling. As I often say, feeling is the first step towards healing, and we can't heal unless we start to feel. So it's uncomfortable, it's not fun, it's painful to kind of stir up what we may have even suppressed in regards to our grief. But if we have any hope whatsoever in healing or beginning the journey towards healing, we've got to feel first, regardless of how uncomfortable it may be. So this is tough on me every single week, but I am delighted to be able to do it if it means it's going to help you. So here we go. So as always, if you want to email me, my email is grieftalkswithnoel@gmail.com. If you have suggestions or questions or comments or just things that you'd like for me to talk about, or just you want to say howdy, I don't know, whatever you want to say, you can certainly shoot me an email, and I promise that I'll write you back. So tonight's episode is called Faith in Flames, and I've been dreading it all day. That's why I took so long to post it, because I've been dreading recording this, because I know that the stuff that I'm going to talk about is heavy and not really pleasant, and I hope nobody thinks that I'm a heathen or anything like that because of what I'm about to talk about. But I have to be real, and I have to basically bear my truth. And I think that people are able to relate to this channel so much because of how truthful I am with my emotions and with my feelings. And I try to make it relatable that way. So faith in flames, okay? But before we get into that, I want to show you something.
Because the Bible tells me so. It doesn't matter what you think I am. It doesn't matter what I've done in the past. It doesn't matter what happened before. It doesn't matter how I look right now. Don't you look at my present. Don't you dare look at where I am right now and limit me and say that I'm stuck in a box. It doesn't matter what you think about how far I might go or what I might be able to do. Your opinion, I love you, but your opinion is not important to me. I am what God says I am. Who are you? I am what God says I am. If he says I'm blessed, then I'm blessed. If he says I'm chosen, then I'm chosen. If he says I'm a peculiar people, I'm a peculiar people. Whatever he says, that's who I am, and that's who I'm going to live my life as. Somebody say that I am. God said I am.
So that was me. That was me back in 2017. Actually, that video was taped on January 29th, this very day, 3 years ago. That was me preaching at a church in the area, and I think it was for their youth service or something like that. And that man that you saw to my right in the corner facing me, who was lifting his hands and watching my every move and just kind of cheering me on, that was my daddy. He would often travel with me to my preaching engagements, which would blow my mind every time. It would be a nerve-wracking yet comforting experience to have my shepherd, the man that I learned so many things from, the man whose feet I sat at for all of my life, to have him right there listening to me. And it was comforting to have him there, but it was also nerve-wracking to have him there, because he would always give me constructive criticism afterwards. He would praise me and tell me I did a wonderful job, highlight different things that he loved about my sermon, but then he would usually give me the same piece of constructive criticism every time. He would tell me I talk too fast, but I speak clearly, but I'm going too fast. So slow down. I can still hear him to this day telling me to slow down. So that was my dad, and that video came up in my Facebook memories today, and I just was blown away because I knew I wanted to talk about this tonight, and I thought it was befitting to include a small clip of him right there, I guess, like cheering me on as he always used to do. My dad was my pastor and my shepherd, and kind of the shaper of my faith. Him and my mom both. As a child, I was taught to serve the Lord, and I was taught to attend church and to love God and love church and love God's people. And so his passing has had a tremendously detrimental effect on my faith. That woman that you saw in the video, I mean, I look like her, but I don't even really recognize her anymore right now, because she was able to do something that I have not been able to do for a while. I became a licensed evangelist in the Church of God in Christ in 2010. And since then, I've been blessed to preach in many different places. But I have not preached since 2018. I was blessed to receive, humbled and honored to receive 4 invitations to preach different places last year in 2019. I couldn't do it because I didn't want to be hypocritical. And I didn't want to get up there. It's difficult for me to get up there and talk about something that I'm having trouble really wrapping my mind around these days and wrapping my head around these days. This is called Faith in Flames because that's how I feel right now. That's the place where my faith is. It's under fire. It's up in smoke right now. Because I've seen God heal people. I've seen God do miraculous things for people all my life. I've heard stories of miraculous healings and seen them even with my very own eyes. And I don't understand why God chose to not heal my father. It would have been so simple. Even resurrection could have happened, and my father would have told the universe. He would have told everybody about what God did for him, and God, I don't get it. And so it's tough for me to get up there and proclaim things to people that I'm struggling to really believe right now. I don't know if believe is the right word. I'm struggling to really, I guess, echo right now because I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't understand why the answer was no. People all over the world, people all over the country were praying for my father, and I can still hear my mother to this day as we're riding to the hospital, as we're in the hospital room, as we're waiting for the doctor to come in. I can hear the most sainted, the holiest woman that I know pleading with God, begging him to please spare my father. And she was saying, would you be so kind? Would you be so kind? Would you be so kind? Would you do this for us? Would you do this for us? And the answer was no. So I'm having a hard time. I can't put myself in a place right now to proclaim this to people, and I don't even buy it fully right now. I don't know why he didn't do it. It would have been so easy. And my father would have told the universe. He would have got all over Facebook and just told everybody. He would have held press conferences and done Facebook Lives and just traveled all over the country just proclaiming himself to be a modern day Lazarus. And I have so many dreams. I've had so many dreams, and I still have them. Dreams of his resurrection, and I'll be so happy in the dream because I'm like, oh, look what God chose to do. And then I'll wake up and I'll realize it's not true. That's not what God chose to do. So I'm struggling right now. My faith is in flames right now because I cannot understand why the answer was no. I cannot understand why God chose to not do this thing. Dr. Tony Evans is he's a pastor in Texas, and he's a prolific author and writer and biblical spiritual commentator and all kinds of stuff. And he just lost his wife not too long ago, and his children said something at her funeral. They said that his wife was looking at Facebook one day, and their mom was looking at Facebook one day, and she was, I guess, reading the comments and reading all the different prayers that people were asking, the different petitions people were making to God on her behalf, and just asking God to heal her. And she started to just weep, and they're asking her, they're like, Mom, why are you crying? And she said, I'm crying because I'm worried about what's going to happen to the faith of those who are praying if God happens to choose not to heal me. What's going to happen to their faith? And that thing hit me so hard because that's real. That's exactly what happened to me. And I hope you don't think I'm a heathen. I'm not blaspheming or anything like that. I'm just being real with you. And if you're in ministry and you're struggling right now because of the loss of a loved one, I'm trying to tell you it's okay. You know, our faith is in flames right now, but I believe God understands. Faith in flames. That's how I feel right now, but I promised you I'll never just give you despair. I'll never just leave you crying. I'll never just be here snotting and not try to give you some type of alternative perspective. So here's the converse. My bishop at my dad's funeral during the eulogy, he said something. I'm sitting there and I'm just staring at him, and I can still feel it to this day, just the heaviness that was on me. And I'm just staring at him and I'm just listening. When I'm staring, and I'm kind of catatonic, and people are talking to me, and I don't really hear what's going on because I'm just in a fog bank. And so he said something
during my dad's eulogy that really stuck with me, and I still hear his words today. He said, somewhere under all the pain, under all the sorrow, under all the agony, under all the angst, under all the discomfort, under all the hurt, under all the confusion, somewhere under all that, there is a flame of faith that is still swirling, that is still flickering, that is still going. And I believe that. I believe that although I'm not where I used to be, the lady in that video, I look like her. That skirt she had on, I just saw that skirt in my room a couple minutes ago. So I think I might be her, but I just can't imagine being her right now, because she was so strong, and she was proclaiming with such boldness, and she just really stood by what she was saying. So, but I believe that as time goes on, and as I start to heal more, and as God, continues to send people to me that will encourage me, and as the wound starts to I guess get a scab on it or whatever, I believe that in time, I will maybe become her again. I don't know. I mean, my faith is in flames right now. Faith in flames. But faith in flames as well. The flame is still going somewhere under all this pain. It's still going. And one day that small flame, I believe, if y'all keep praying for me, it'll happen someday, that small flame will once again ignite into the gigantic fire that it used to be. I love y'all so much. Thank you for tuning in tonight. And I hope to see you. Well, not see you. I hope that you tune in next week. And that you're inspired, most importantly, to express how you feel during this time of sorrow and grief. Nothing wrong with it. No shame in talking about how you feel, even if you got to snot your way through it and cry. Like, this is hard for me to dig all these emotions up and stir them up every single week, but I'll do it for y'all if it'll help somebody else. I'm glad to do it. So thank you for watching, and let's keep talking. Bye-bye.